There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading Forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits, or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Ovoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.
All right, guys, what's going on? So, welcome to the AIRO Developer Insights Call. All right, happens every Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central, where I'm at here. All right, my name is Nathan Williams. I'm the developer of the AIRO software. I have this call once a week. And this call is going to be going over everything AIRO. All right. So whatever, if you're brand new, this is the call to get on to help get set up. If you haven't been set up yet, if you have any questions about AIRO or any of the AIRO 5.0 additional softwares, this is the call to be on. If you have any questions about strategies 1 through 11, this is the call to be on. If you want to get, what's the word I'm looking for? If you want to get the early news on new softwares coming out, new strategies, new anything that has to do with anything that I have or I put my hands on, this is the call to be on. I leak everything here first before it gets anywhere. All right. Looney, man, you should go on tour, man. So we don't really take too many trades on this call. Every now and then we've taken some, but for the most part, this call is about helping newbies get set up and answering any questions, and of course, showing how the software works. So we've got about 10 people on the call right now. Most people don't get on this call. Most people want to get on the live trade calls. I will start, as you guys know, on Thursday, this Thursday, while I'm in Cabo. We will be releasing red light, green light, and market maker trend. All right. So they go hand in hand with AIRO. All right, I'll show you. Again, I believe in an ecosystem like Apple has. If you have an Apple product, you typically have more than one. You know, you got the Apple Watch, you have the iPod, you have the iPhone, you have the iPad, you have the iMac, the MacBook, you have the iPods. I mean, it goes on for days. And so I believe in the similar tactics because again, they all go together. And they all go together and work together, to make your life cool, easy, whatever the case may be, however you utilize your products. For me, it's all about helping you to be more profitable and giving you that edge in the market. So the products all go together. So we'll go over that today while we're on this call here. All right. Let's see, I got my charts open right now. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, let's jump in here. All right. So no one has said anything about being new. Everybody is good. I'll ask one more time. Is anybody new or does anybody have any questions about the software? All right. Any questions they want me to go over? Brittany says she's new. Brittany, I guess she's new at AIRO. So Brittany, what can I do for you? What do you need help getting set up on? What questions do you have? And I saw you earlier in the chat asking about the best strategies. And the number 1 and number 11, number 1 and number 11 are the best. But yes, give me a second here. I'll let you unmute. There you go. You should be able to unmute yourself now.
Hi. Yeah, new to AIRO, not new to AP. I am just diving in, which I'm really excited for. And I know I asked in the chat yesterday kind of which strategy to hone in on, and it was a unanimous bag strategy. And so, and a follow-up question to that, can I trade that? And I know the answer to this question because I was on your live call today. But can I trade that strategy just across the board with not only Forex pairs, but I know you also trade US 30, and NAS 100 and whatever else you trade, German 30, I think it is. Can I use that strategy like across the board?
Yes, it works on everything. So we'll let's go over that strategy. All right, let's go over it. All right, Dr. John Rich, I'm new using Gearbox, curious about AIRO. Have no idea really what it is. Sorry, I haven't watched the AP videos. Hey, no worries, John. Dr. John, we'll go over it for you. So, and while we go over it, we'll look at strategy number 1. So let's put up a couple pairs here so we can show you how it goes hand in hand. All right, GJ, it's my favorite Forex pair. Let's see, we'll go with German 30. That's my favorite indice. All right, we'll then go with gold. We'll also go with Bitcoin. And I'd have to log into another account, but I could even show you a stock that it goes very well with. That trades very well. I have to log into another account. This funded account that I'm on, they don't have stocks. All right, so let's add AIRO to the chart. All right, come on. There we go. All right, so this is the AIRO software. All right, the AIRO software, simply put, is as people have been calling it, the digital coloring book. All right, it is a indicator. All right, as you see here is the chart. It's just red and green candlesticks. All right, when you add on the actual indicator itself, AIRO is a visual representation of the market. All right, as you can see here, as price is trending down, the candles are red. Some of these candles are green. When you take the color scheme off of it, we go back to default, and you see on that drop there, you got red and green candles all the way down. All right. When you add AIRO on top, all right, it shows you that trend. All right. So it's all about showing you that trend. So if candles are trending down, it's going to let you know they're trending down. If they're trending up, you'll see green. All right. You have these zones here. These are your supply and demand, your support resistance zones. All right. These zones match up very well with a lot of the key institutional levels. All right. So these represent the boundaries. All right. Red zones are your resistance zones, like the ceiling. Green are your support zones, like the floor. A couple moving averages on here, the AIRO moving average and the 200 moving average. And then you have the arrows. The arrows, simply put, are what? The arrows, simply put, are my special, as you call it, my special strategy. All right, there's 3 different arrows that pop up, and there's 3 different reasons why they pop up as far as the different strategies. All right, so one of the strategies, simply put, in the arrows is a confirmation trend change. All right, so when price as you see, was running up here, came back down, this arrow has confirmed the trend has changed. All right. Number 2, this is a continuation of the trend. So prices come down, little pullback, came back down, boom. Now it's a continuation of the trend. All right. And as you can see here, this arrow right here is a potential reversal. Why is this one a potential reversal? Well, because the rule states, all right, the rules state, sorry about that, guys. Give me 1 second here. Somebody's calling me. All right, apologize. Go back here. The rules state, all right, with AIRO, it's real simple, that if you have what? If you have more red zones than green zones, you should be looking for sales, because the market is trending down. If you have more green zones than red zones, you should be looking for buys. All right. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Let's go take a look. All right. So the market just opened up Sunday, doing all this wacky stuff. All right. The rule states that you should be trading inside of the money zone. That's the best time to trade, is inside the money zone. All right. The money zone is this gray shaded area. Why is that the best time to trade? Well, that's the best time to trade because that is when the majority of the volatility exists. All right. The market does $7 trillion a day. 85% of that volume is done inside of this shaded area. So of the $7 trillion, what is that? 85% is 5.95 trillion. So approximately 6 trillion of the $7 trillion a day is done or is traded during this time frame. This is 12 hours of the day. All right. So strategy number one, all right, is bounce, arrow, go. All right. What you're waiting for, we check one, you check for the trend. Boom. On a 5 minute, we have what? More red zones than green zones. All right. So we know what we're looking for sales. All right. Looking for sales number one, or we're looking for sales inside of the shade area. All right. And as far as those sales, we want a bag entry. So what? We want price to bounce off resistance first, the ceiling, come down, give us a down arrow, and take the trade. Well, look what happened. Bounce, got an arrow. That was a quick 20 pips right there, 22 pips. If he held it, came back a little bit, and then dropped down to the zone for 65 pips. All right. With this trade here, you take that sell there, you're going to put your stop loss above the high here. All right. That's 25 pip stop loss, 65 pip take profit. That's almost a 1-to-3 ratio. So 1 to 2.5. So from a risk to reward standpoint, that's a very good trade. Along the way, you caught another what? Bounce, you got an arrow. Stop loss above this high there, drop to the zone. Got another bounce, arrow go right there. Stop loss above the high, went down to the zone. All right. Now this one didn't bounce because the rules state you can take 2 continuous. All right. So we got a bounce, 1, 2 in a row, 3 in a row. It's very rare you get 3 in a row like this. Very rare you get 3 in a row like this in the same direction. All right. The reason why is you had that strong pullback and then it came back down. You got that down arrow. But I would take it because what? I'm already in up here, and I already know what. I already know we're in the sell trend. All right. So that's GJ. All right, let's go to an indice. This is German 30. All right, this is the US 30 of London session. All right, where's arrow at? Arrow. Oh. All right, go 5 minute here. All right, so we see what? On the 5 minute, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Red zones and 5. Oh, sorry about that, guys. We got 6 red, 5 green. This red zone just happened. As you can see when it started. All right, it started a couple hours ago. But inside the money zone, when we're trading, we were even. All right, so now the rule is, or the question is, well, Nate, if we have even number of red zones and green zones, what do we do? As long as you have 50 pips or more room in either direction, from the, you can take trades in both directions. All right. Well, let's look at it. German 30 indice. We definitely got more than 50 pips of room. So you say from this zone here to that zone is 3,700 pips. From this zone to that zone is 2,800 pips. All right. So we got a bounce. We got an arrow. That run up to 1,000 pips right there. 1,094. And if you held it, because again, your stop loss will be below down here. That runs up 2,400 pips. All right. Look at that. 2 consecutive. Boom. You got in there. Just to run up to the top right there. 738 pips. Boom. Bounce. Another arrow. That ran up 1,648 pips. All right. Now, I like to trade indices on the minute 1 because of the amount of pips they move. You can have some significant pullback. All right. So let's zoom out here. We can see here, this just happened. So inside the money zone, you can see 1, 2, there was, there pretty much was 3 red zones, 3 green zones and no red. The red didn't start to the end of the money zone. So on the 1 minute, and 1 minute, you can see you have better entries here. So we had the bounce down here. All right. Got the up arrow right there. That bad boy ran up 2,500 pips. All right. Now you didn't have another bounce. That's the only one I would have took. You do have some other ones here. If you want to take them, you could because you're already in that trade, but they didn't bounce off anything. And you can't take 2 consecutive because this arrow is right there. The next one's a down arrow. All right. But again, it's trending up. So it's a good trade to take. So if you get that trend up, all right, you can take it. If you're an advanced trader, some of the advanced traders know how to use strategy 11. Again, strategy 1 is good. Strategy 11 will help you in getting in some additional trades as well. It's a little bit more hands-on. All right. Let's go to gold. So we'll go to gold here. On gold, let's go to arrow. All right, hold on real quick. Let me check the chat. What time is that Eastern time? Is that during the live trade calls primarily? So the money zone starts at, so the money zone runs from 12 to 12. So the money zone runs from Eastern time, 1 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. So it covers London session and it covers New York, because those two sessions are the most volatile sessions. All right. Over 60% of all volume is done during London session, and over 30% of all volume is done during New York. So you're talking about most days, 90% of your volume is done in 2 sessions. So that money zone is going to cover London session and New York session. All right. Now, don't be worried about asking novice questions. This is what the call is for. No worries at all. So gold. Let's go down to 5 minute. I go to 5 minute on gold because gold is a volatile pair. You can see here, 3 red, 2 green. So we're looking for sales. So inside the money zone, we're waiting for a bag entry. Look at that. Beautiful. Bounce, arrow. You had 8 pip drawdown. Hold on, let me move this out of the way. And that bad boy fell off a cliff. Gold ran down 169 pips. And you had another trade on the way. This one right here dropped 47. That's a 216 pips if you caught it to the T. All right, if you caught it to the T. See how that red zone just popped up? Red zone just popped up. Bounce, arrow, go. All right, this is on gold. This happened today in New York session. All right, in New York session. All right, you see that? 3 red. Now you got 3 green, but you see inside the money zone before that hit down there, you only had 3 red and 2 green. This didn't start to down here. So your entry is way back here, which means that that green zone wasn't there. So it's a bounce, arrow, drop. All right. Let's go look at Bitcoin. All right, go look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is volatile as well. So I would trade on the 5 minute. All right. I would trade on the 5 minute as well, because you're going to have some potential for some nice pullback, drawdown. So I like to go to the 5 minute time frame. Now, Bitcoin has no time frame. All right. Bitcoin has no time frame. And when I mean time frame, meaning that it really doesn't have sessions. Cryptocurrency doesn't have sessions. All right, not at all. So it's really hard to gauge cryptocurrency. All right, a lot of people that I know that trade it, like they trade on the higher time frames. All right, and a lot of people that use arrow on it like to use trading it off, like 4-hour zones and things of that nature. And what do I mean by 4-hour zones? I mean they come to the 4-hour time frame. Uh-oh, why is this thing? I'll tell you, MT4 is really trying my patience right now. All right, we'll stick with the 1 hour. The 1 hour to 4 hour and the daily are the 3 times that I see most people trading Bitcoin. So you see here on the 1 hour, nice little bounce here, arrow there. You got in, look at that, barely any drawdown, and it ran up big time. All right. I never looked at Bitcoin on this broker. That is some interesting pips. Went from 39,809 to 41,942. That is it's over 21,000 pips. All right. So Bitcoin is is in cents and dollars, like gold. You know, that 39,809 price point here where you got your entry in at, that's $39,809.16. And so that's a 21,000 pip move, because just like gold, every penny move is a pip. So with gold, if gold moves $1, that's 10 pips. I'm sorry, every 10-cent move, I apologize. Every 10-cent move is 1 pip. All right, same thing here with Bitcoin. Every 10-cent move is a pip. So that moved up 21,000 pips. It's a lot of money right there. So the 1 hour and the 4 hour are the time frames that everyone that I know that trade cryptocurrency with AIRO, they're utilizing the 1 hour and the 4 hour, all right, for the analysis. They typically get in. Sometimes they'll go to a lower time frame to get in. You know, like right here, you got a nice little breakout of 30-minute. But for the most part, they're using the 1 hour and the 4 hour, and they're looking for those nice long runs. All right. So I just showed you a Forex pair, an indice, a precious metal, and a cryptocurrency. Strategy number one. Strategy number one. No problem. No problem. You see, you actually had another entry right here on Bitcoin as well. At that point, that one ran up 6,200. So that's between that one and that one. This entry here and this entry here, that's 27,000. If you would have closed it out before the end of the day, and you see at the new day that thing gapped up, so you would have been up as much as on the first entry, 35,000 pips. So Bitcoin definitely is a mover. Gold is a very good mover. The indices are always good movers. All right, and then of course GJ. So when you guys see me trading on the live calls, I typically have an institutional chart setup as well as AIRO. And I use a different method or a different approach. AIRO I use for understanding the direction and understanding when prices overbought or oversold. And then I use an institutional chart to get in so that I have more precise entries, because I trade with larger lot sizes. So I do not want to have, large stop losses. So I use the institutional charts there. So a combination of strategies. All right. Yes, those are the time frames I recommend. I mean, those are time frames that I trade on when I was trading gold and Bitcoin. What I would tell you as far as recommendation, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't really give recommendations. But what I tell you is to take a demo account, all right, try out different time frames, and see what works best for you. That's what it comes down to, is what works best for you. It's all based on your style as well. I'm a scalper, so I like the smaller time frames on the more volatile pairs, because on the smaller time frames, I have less drawdown, which allows me to use bigger stop losses. Bigger lot sizes, because my stop loss is going to be tighter. Therefore, I can use a bigger lot size to capitalize on more profits. All right. I'll show you US 30 today. I caught a trade after the call. This drop right here, I caught this drop, half of it, made $7,500. Utilizing the software. Come on. Let's go to 1 minute here. All right, great. So as you can see here, I got in on me. So my institutional markup showed me, for the most part, actually, let me pull up Strat 11. I'll show you here exactly what I did here. All right, there we go. So I use strategy 11. All right. I use strategy 11. There it is. All right. And you can see here on strategy 11. All right. I knew that we were in what? We were in a 15-minute supply zone right here. All right. As you can see on US 30 with AIRO. All right. I'm just going to throw AIRO on there so you can see it here. Boom, boom, boom. You can't see it. It's already been broken because price is already broke above it. So beforehand, all right, before price broke above it. Because when these zones are here, if price breaks through it, the zone disappears. That's how support and resistance works. Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. There it is. My apologies. Here it is right here. My apologies. Here's the zone right there. Boom, boom. All right. So you see we got a supply zone. So let me go back here. That's the wrong zone. There it is. There it is. All right. All right. So here's the zone. 15-minute supply zone. All right. I told you these are institutional levels. All right. We had a leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, and then boom, across down leg 4. On the binary ATM here, we are at 100%. It came to 100%. This one came to like 99. This one poked at 99 at 100% and then came down. I knew we were about to come down hard because it hit at 100%. Also, the time frame of the day, it was the end of London session, which means that typically you're going to see price reverse the previous trend because of what? Because the institutional investors are taking profits. So as you see here, based on strategy 11, as soon as this this candle crosses down and you get a what? You get a cross down here. So you got all you really care about is the information at overbought. We're overbought up here. Information, whenever the blue line crosses down over the dotted red line, you get it. All right, so I'll wait for the close. And you can see here, this candle right here, it closed on. Look at that. That candle, when that candle closed, boom, it was crossed over. So guess what? My entry was right there. Strategy 11. I took this exact same trade. You got to look at my screenshot. My exact entry was right there. You can see here on that trade, and I had a 50 lot on that. All right, that's a 97 pip drawdown. I only had 97 pip drawdown on US 30. All right, I'm mad I didn't hold the trade because it ran down a total of 4,500 pips. I got stopped out at around 1,500. I forgot where I was at. It pulled back on me in this area right here, and I got stopped me out at 1,500 pips, which is all good. I'm not complaining about it. That was $7,500 trade for my account. That's a 3.75% growth in one trade with only less than 100 pip drawdown. All right, so I had 400. What is that? 97 pips would be 485 pip drawdown. $485 drawdown for a take profit of $7,500. I'll risk $485 for $7,500. That's almost a 1-to-18 ratio. All right. That's strategy 11. Again, this is not me making things up. I took this exact trade today. Me and Lowe's took this trade. You can see it on my Instagram account. You can see it in the AIRO bag chat. I posted it. That's the trade I took right there. Well, look, strategy 11 got you in, but then look what else got you in. Because we already know what. All right. Before this zone popped up, there was 1, 2, and 2 here. So you had 2 and 2. Well, as long as you have distance, 50 pips distance between the two, you're good, right? Well, we got more than 50 pips distance. All right. So I took the sale. I knew the direction was coming down. I knew the time of day. And then look at that. Strategy 11 got me in early. If I wanted to, I could have also took the bag entry. Bounce, arrow. And you see the bag entry had no drawdown because that arrow pops up when this candle closes. So you would have got in at the beginning of the next candle. There is no drawdown on that candle right there. None. Only reason I didn't take it is because if you look left, we were at the neckline of the M. So sometimes price can reverse off of that. Well, it shot through it. I missed my entry. I wasn't complaining about it because I had my original entry from strategy 11 here. But that's the only reason I did not take that bag entry. Otherwise, I would have put another 50 lot on there and could have had me another, $2-3 grand. Could have been a $10,000 trade. But it is what it is. Just to show you here, this bag entry works. Look at this here. You could have got in here, and you see price never came back. Price never came. You would have never been in no drawdown at all. And that trade would have went down here. That's 3,500 pips on a bag entry. And you could take 2 consecutive, which means you could have gotten this one too. Now this one would have had you a little drawdown, would have pulled back up here. And it ran down though. All right. Indices. You definitely want to watch where you're at, all right, on your binary ATM when you're taking trades. So I wouldn't have took the second bag entry. Actually, I would have took it. You see it right here because you're still not oversold yet. All right. So I would have took it because you're not oversold yet. And then by the time I got oversold down here, I'd have probably took profit. You see it start to try to come back. All right, let me get out of there. And then close both of them. So I should have closed this one around 1,700 pips. And then you'd have got that one down there to potentially, 700 pips. So 2,500 pips or so on those two trades. But I just showed you strategy 11. Strategy 11 will always get you in before a bag entry. And then when the bag entry comes, it's easy money. Easy money. If anything, put the big lot on strategy 11. And then when the bag entry comes, lower your lot size and get another entry in right there, just in case you have a little bit of pullback. All right. But yeah, that's strategy 1 and 11 on US 30. And this is the exact software that I use to catch. And this trade right here, again, I'm not lying. You can go see it in the AIRO bag chat. You can go see it on my Instagram. I took this exact trade. I was a little aggressive with my stop loss, and I didn't let the trade play out, which is fine. I took profit. I'm happy with my profit. I just could have had more. All right. Check the chat. Come on, Brittany. Brittany, for everybody in Cabo, I'm going to be showing people sauce. So you're coming to Cabo. I'm going to be showing people that want to learn about trading some of the things that I've learned from a lot of my institutional mentors. So I know it's supposed to be a little vacation, but I'm still trading. I'm going to trade New York session. I'm going to trade London session. And then the other, so I'll trade 2 hours New York, 2 hours London. And then the other 20 hours of the day, we're going to have some fun. But I'm going to be showing you guys some sauce, stuff that you guys have never seen before, that'll help you understand how AIRO works, why it works so well. And, how to just, be able to use AIRO to compound your trades. That's all I use AIRO for most of the time, is that I use AIRO to get in for additional entries. It gives me my confirmation of my overall direction. So I don't have, so I know which way we're going, number one. And number two, it gives me confirmation of additional entries to get into. Because I would have took this bag entry right here and this one right here had I still been in this trade based on what I know. So after I went back and looked at the whole move, I said, oh, that's what happened. But I was so happy to be up $7,500. I think I was up 8,500 at once. I think it was the most I got up to, and it pulled back on me. This little pullback right here got me. So that's AIRO, guys. That's strategy 1. That's strategy 11. Those are the two strategies that I really recommend the most. If you're looking for a third strategy that's easy and fun to use, it is strategy number 3, which is the Asian breakout strategy. That is more of a strategy for Forex pairs. But strategy 1 and strategy 11, you can use on anything. All right, anything. So, anybody else have any questions before I? And no problem. Glad it was helpful. Anybody have any additional questions before I bring out the heavy guns? The red and blue arrows, they don't mean anything as far as entries. Yes, they appear in real time, but they also repaint. Don't worry about the red and blue entries. The only reason these are here are for strategy 11. So when I got into my entry right here based on strategy 11 rules, the rule for your stop loss is to put your stop loss at the wick of the candle that the red arrow is pointing to for a sell. And if you're in a buy, at the wick of the arrow that the blue candle is pointing to. That's it. That's all it's there for, to tell you where to put your stop loss at. So I have my stop loss right there, and that's it. That's all the red and blue arrows are for. Don't worry about nothing else. All right. Again, guys, please go back. The strategy videos in the back office, they're there. They show you multiple examples of how to use the software. Make sure to go back and watch those and understand all your rules. Make sure to go back and watch that and understand all your rules as well. All right. It's one thing for me to talk about it on here, but again, there's strategy videos in the back office so that you can get those reminders and you can watch it over and over until you get into your head. All right. That's what everything is there for. All right, so let's go look at a couple of the softwares that are coming out. So a software that's coming out this week is going to be Market Maker Trend. Let me throw it on the chart real quick. Boom. There we go. I think the market closed right now. 4226. All right, so it's not going to show me here. So Market Maker Trend is actually it's both an indicator and an EA, but even the indicator is an EA because it's constantly calculating the new market maker direction. So the market's closed right now, so it won't show the market maker direction. But I know GU, I can tell you right now, there was a market maker sale right here at this top right here. Actually, the market's still open. All right, give me a second, guys. Let me try to refresh it. Oh, that's why I don't have auto trading on. User error. My bad. My fault. Market Maker Trend. Let's throw that on again. Let's just go to default. We'll go to a blank chart. Now we'll throw it back on. All right, come on, MC4. Get your life together. All right, cool. Everything's on. So why isn't it showing it to me? Let's try a different pair. MT4 has been acting pretty rough today and yesterday. We had problems even on call, a lot of glitching. So I don't know what's going on right now. Let's take a look here. I might just go to another broker. Yeah, let me log into another VPS, guys, real quick. Who said that? Russian hackers? Let's make sure it works over here. Oh, there we go. All right, we're good to go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So you guys can see here, this is market maker trend indicator. All right. It lets you know when the market maker new trend started. So on this day for USD CHF, which would have been February the 24th, the new trend started, which is a sell trend. And you can see since then, price went down, try to come back up here, and then continue downward. All right. And so what you're looking for is potential entries. All right. You have the market maker entry, which is right here. And you see that one came at the top of this green candle. Let me zoom in for you guys to see. Boom. So you got in that trade here, a little pullback of 17 pips. Nothing bad, nothing drastic. And you can see from there, it has dropped, 53 pips. That's a 1-to-3 ratio. That's a beautiful setup right there. Beautiful setup. All right. Trend started this day. You got the market maker entry here. 1-2 days later, which would have been today. Looks like halfway, almost New York session. 17 pip drawdown. Boom. Drop to 53 pip, take profit. All right. I like to use this chart from the standpoint of marking my charts up institutional wise. All right. And using the chart to get in on trades as well, for potential setups. All right. So this is a chart that I like to use to mark up. All right, so I'll be showing people how to use this chart. This is more of an advanced indicator. All right, because you do more market charts up. All right, and you don't really have what I call strategies. You know, but I'll show you how it works. All right, here is market maker with arrow on it. All right. Oh, what happened to market maker up here? What's going on? I forgot when I save this thing as a when I say this thing, it doesn't come back. There we go. There we go. So now you can see market maker gives you market maker sell here. So now you can get into trades even before what? Even before market maker gives it to you. I mean, so market maker gave it entry here. Arrow gave it entry here 2 hours early. So you could have gotten this trade 2 hours early at a little less, 13 pip drawdown, down to TP, 50 pips. All right. It went as low as 58, 59 pips. All right. So it tells you when it's time to sell. And the cool thing is the one issue that most people had was that when there are more red zones than green zones, or green zones and red zones, eventually the market turns around to a new trend. And sometimes it takes 2 or 3 days before the green zones and red zones get knocked out. You know, they disappear because price moves through them. And now you can see that it's a new uptrend or it's a downtrend. Well, market maker will let you know beforehand. Like, oh, we're in a sell trend now. So even though you may have more green zones than red zones, it doesn't matter. Market maker says we're in a sell, start selling. When market maker says we're in a buy, start buying. At this point, market maker makes it easy to now ignore the zones. You can trade through the zones. All right. And I'll be going over that, more and more as we, after we launch the software. But this is how they work together. All right. And then, give me 1 second here. I'm going to show you, let me pull my other chart up here so I can pull up red light, green light. So red light, green light is the other indicator and EA that I have coming out. I'll show you. And again, it works all together as well. Now, red light, green light is an indicator for what do I say here? Red light, green light is an indicator for a 5-year-old. All right. So it's not one that it's a beginner indicator. It's for you. Let me pull up another pair here real quick. Actually, we'll put the same pair. It's a indicator that is simple. All right. Market maker. Come on. I just updated you. Give me a second, guys. Let me update this real quick. All right, there we go. All right, let me share my screen. All right, so here's red light, green light. All right, the red light, green light is simple software. All right. Both market maker trend and red light, green light are based off of market maker algorithms. All right, there are 2 different approaches to market maker algorithm. All right, so meaning that they both are based off of the market maker trend and then give you entries based off of market maker entries. So a lot of the entries will be similar, between market maker and red light, green light. But red light, green light will have more because more red light, green light is more of a scalper, and market maker is more of a trend. So it catches longer trends, more of an intraday. So market maker is more of a scalper. You're looking for 10, 20 pips, sometimes more if you're on the higher time frames. But usually you look for that 10, 20. With market maker, you're looking for more like 50 plus. All right. So as you can see here, USD CHF, we can go to the hour, and you see what? Boom. Same entry as market maker. All right. Here's the same entry. But if you break it down to the 15-minute, you can see you have an earlier entry. All right. So now let's go look at where you at here. Again, they all work together. They all work together. What is that? Red light, green light, and arrow. Man. So now I got arrow and red light, green light. I don't even need to worry about the zones anymore because guess what? Red light, green light is telling me what? It's telling me we're in a sell trend because it's red light. Red light means sell. If it's green light, it'll show green light down here. That means buy. And actually, let me show you something real quick before we get here real quick. Delete. All right, so red light, green light is cool. As you can see here, you got these dotted lines here. All right, so as you can see here in the inputs, you can set your take profit 1, take profit 2, and your stop loss. All right, and when you do that, it automatically, here's the entry right here. Entry comes when this candle closes, so your entry is right here. And so 20 pips from here is your stop loss. 20 pips back, the stop loss, we're in a sale. So your stop loss is going to be above your price. Your take profit 1, 20 pips is below your price. And then take profit 2, 40 pips is below your price. So as you can see, clearly this came nowhere near your stop loss. Hit TP1 and then ran all the way down to TP2 as well and significantly further. All right, so it's a pretty cool indicator because it tells you what the trend is. It tells you when to get in. And based on your settings, which I recommend, again, I'll give some guidance on what to put for take profit and stop loss. But this is, here's just a basic setting right here. You know exactly where your stop loss and your take profits are at. So now when you input the trade, you literally can just drag, click, hold, and drag your entry line, which allows you to drag your stop loss up here and then click and hold and drag your entry down to your take profits. You know exactly where to place everything. You don't have to worry about counting your pips. The indicator does it for you. Everything is built for you. All right. Even on the EA, when you trade the EA, you can turn on the trading buttons with the EA and you can actually take trades on the EA, manual trades, because there are actually buttons that allow you. So if you see that you have what? If you see that, you're taking a trade, let's say you're taking a trade with me on live calls or with Jackie or with Hans or with QB Stu, and you want to take a trade and the EA is already in a trade on that pair, you can turn on the trading buttons and actually from the EA take a trade. So I'll be showing that as well in videos because again, that's how the EA works. So it's a very functional tool. Now let's go look at it all together because again, like I talked to you guys about, it's all about working together with AIRO. All right, AIRO is the foundation and this tool works with AIRO. So as you can see here, we're in red light. So we already know what? We already know we're looking for sales. Well, we got a bag, a bounce arrow, go. And look at that. Red light, green light. I got 2 entries at the same price point. Boom. I got a red bounce arrow, go. Boom. Then I got a red light, green light entry. I'm selling again. Then you get another bag entry down here. Man, come on. Now that one had a little pullback, 15 pips, and then it dropped 56. But even if you didn't take that trade and you just took these 2 right here, back to back, both of those, they both hit 40 pip TP. So that's 80 pips. And they both dropped 96 pips. I don't trade USD CHF. I just pulled it up just to show you guys what it looks like. I don't even trade it. That's how it works, though. That's how red light, green light works. That's how market maker works. And that's how they work together with AIRO. It's all about the functionality of them working together. All right, to make what? To make trading easy for you. So it's just all about additional confirmations. All right. People have a lot of individuals. People had issues with understanding the trend, because they didn't want to pay attention to the zones. People had issues with knowing when the trend was going to change around. Because again, market maker came from, actually, if you go watch my strategy number 9 video for AIRO, that is where market maker trend came from. Trying to find and build an indicator that would be able to let people know when the trend turns around, like strategy number 9. The strategy number 9 is the market maker strategy, showing you how to understand when the trend is turning around. All right. I can see it, but not everybody can see it. So it's all about building tools to help people to be able to see the market faster and easier so that they can make quicker decisions, whether they spend hours and months and years, on charts like I have, or whether they've only been trading for, a couple of weeks. All right. No, Brittany, this is not all included in the AIRO Pass. So Market Maker will be its own software because it's an indicator and an EA. Red light, green light is its own software because it's going to be an indicator and an EA. They just work together with AIRO. So there's 3 different softwares. All 3 of them, so they're all different. Market Maker is a different software. AIRO is a different software. Red light, green light is a different software. Some of the benefits for those individuals that have any of the softwares, you'll get access to the live AIRO calls. So if you have Market Maker, and red light, green light, you have Market Maker, red light, green light, and AIRO. 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, all 3. It doesn't matter. You'll get access to all the live calls. Once the AP Live is 100% done, we will go back to AP Live in the back office. It will no longer cost. So that's why we're doing it free now. We're doing all the free Zooms. So anybody that's new, anybody that's old, anybody that has a subscription, that doesn't have a subscription, can jump on, get the value. And then once we start charging for it again, it won't cost additional. The only thing that's going to cost is you have to have a subscription, whether it be a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum pass. And you have to have at least one of my softwares, and you'll have access to all the live calls. So it doesn't matter if you have AIRO or not, you have access to the live calls. Is MMT, what's the ST advised? Again, I'll give all the information when the time comes. All right. We'll give all information when the time comes. So not gonna go over all the details, just gonna give you an overview. When I do launch, my calls will kind of change. I will no longer be doing just AIRO. I'll be doing 2 calls a week, and not, instead of the AIRO Developer Insights, it'll be called something else, because my calls, I will go over all 3. Doesn't make sense to do 3 different calls. I'll be doing 2 2-hour calls a week that goes over all 3 software, their benefits, how they work, how they, how to use them. And so that will happen twice a week, so that you can have your, if you guys are recruiting and building teams, you'll have the calls that teams can get on and learn about them. You'll see the educators using them on their calls. Again, I'm not going to force them to use all the softwares or any. Right now, they all use AIRO. We'll see how they use the rest of them. I know Jackie likes red light, green light. Hans and QB Stu, because of the way they like to trade with institutional. I know they'll use Market Maker a little bit more. Me, you'll see me using Market Maker and AIRO more. Red light, green light, I may throw on, but we'll see. We'll just see how it works. I know from stock option standpoint, I'll be using AIRO and red light, green light when I trade stocks. Indices, it'll probably be more of Market Maker and AIRO, and that's kind of the way that I like to trade the pairs that I trade. So that is my spiel. We got 3 minutes left until the end of the call. What questions do you guys have? Again, a lot of good stuff coming. I'll be announcing on my Instagram. I'll be giving away 20 free passes, 20 free trials for anybody to try all 3, one of the softwares. So if you guys have anybody that's, you're trying to, that's being a little stubborn or whatever the case may be, have them set up a whole nother email, coming to me, potentially try to get one. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. They can test it out. Then they can come back to you guys. If you guys don't have any free passes, come back to you guys with a new email and sign up underneath, underneath your login and whatnot. That way, you guys get the credit for them. But I'm giving away 20 free passes. I've been saving them up. Going to give them away for the, while we're in Cabo. Going to give those away, for people to just try it out. But at the end of the day, it may not be for you. I'm gonna give people the free passes. They can try it out. They try it out. They can, see if it's for them. Somebody said that red light, green light is dummy proof. For the most part, I wouldn't call it dummy proof, but that was the goal, was to make something simple. So red light, green light is the simple indicator for the 5-year-old. It tells you, even though it tells you the trend, you don't need to worry about that. If it says sell, the trend is going to say sell. If it says buy, the trend is going to say buy. That's how it's developed. That's how I created it. So you just, when it says buy and sell, you just take it. Matter of fact, if you have it hooked up to your phone where you get notifications on your phone, you can see a notification, go to your phone and just take the trade without having to look at the chart, because that's how it's set up. And again, you have to manage your take profit and stop loss. I'll kind of show you guys how to do all that. Again, you want to use the trade manager. I probably will make that available as well. We'll see. With AIRO or red light, green light, I'll probably make that available to help with market maker and AIRO. And red light, green light. I'll probably make the AIRO trade manager and the AIRO risk manager. I'll probably make those a part of red light, green light, and market maker packages. Because the risk manager, again, it helps you with your risk. For those who don't know what it is. And the trade manager, allows you to put a trade on, and it will automatically place your stop loss and take profit on there, and it will automatically manage your trade. So as you move into profit, it'll move your stop loss for you. That way you can, be semi hands free. If you're taking manual trades, if you're not using the EA. Again, I'll make those available for those who don't want to use the EA. But again, market maker and red light, green light are the first of its kind. 2 tools for the price of 1. Market maker will be an indicator and an EA for the same $99 access pass. Red light, green light will be an indicator and an expert advisor for the same $99 access pass. So no other developer is giving 2 softwares away for the same price. But I believe in manual trading. So these products that will be brought to the marketplace will have both. All right. We'll have both. See you in Cabo. Yes, ma'am. See you there. We're at the end of the call, so we'll look at stocks another time. Actually, I'm probably going to do my New York session call tomorrow instead of Thursday, because Wednesday I'll be traveling to Cabo, and so we'll go over, make sure to get on a Zoom call in the morning. We'll be going over stocks then, or you can go back to the AIRO bag chat and watch some of the pre-recorded videos, and you'll see it there. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate every last one of you guys supporting me, getting on the calls. Hopefully that there's a lot of value brought. I'll see you guys on the New York call tomorrow. If you're going to trade tonight, make sure you trade responsibly. I'll see you in the funny papers.
There is a substantial risk of loss associated with trading Forex, binary options, stocks, or equities, collectively, asset classes. Only risk capital should be used for trading. Trading in any asset classes is not appropriate for everyone. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. No representation is being made that investors will make profits or will not sustain losses. Before trading in any asset classes, investors should consult with their professional broker, financial advisor, or financial consultant to determine whether trading asset classes is appropriate. Investors who trade in any asset classes should only do so if the capital used for this purpose represents funds that an investor can afford to lose without adversely impacting the investor's lifestyle. No trading strategy or methodology is without risk of loss. No trading strategy is risk-free, and no trading strategy can guarantee profits or freedom from losses. Investors risk losing the cost to execute any transaction, including associated commissions or fees. You should carefully consider whether trading in any asset class is appropriate for you in light of your investment experience and financial resources. Any trading decisions you make are solely your responsibility and at your own risk. None of the statements or materials in the Ovoria Prime chat rooms constitute a solicitation or recommendation to buy or sell.